There are 200 volcanoes in Japan, with an average of 1,500 earthquakes per year. More than 70% consist of mountains and forests, with tunnels cutting straight through, with every wall tile laid by hand. Japan is an industrialized nation, producing some of the most technologically advanced electronics, machine tools, and motor vehicles. Mount Madarao is located in the northern part of Nagano Prefecture, between Nozawa Onsen and Miyako Kogen, reaching a height of 1,382 meters tall. It is renowned for average snowfalls in the realm of 10 to 13 meters per season. Unlike neighbouring ski resorts, Madarao is largely frequented by the Japanese folk, offering something more unique and authentic, untouched by Westerners. Northerly aspect is an obvious advantage for the quality of the snow. 60% of the courses are ungroomed. The powdery snow, affectionately called chapao, is light, fluffy and deep.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice and sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. No shit. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. But now
we used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need the money.
my name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face and I care what you think. My name's blurry face. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama said
Nightly hikes consisted of getting into a taxi up the hill to our favourite warm eatery, Jazzy's, one of Madarau's best restaurants, a place that feels like your home, a place forgotten but found again.
Wow. This is epic.
Oh my god.
The snow swirled and twirled in directions at tremendous velocities.
That's the shit right there.
A blizzard came rolling across from the Sea of Japan, slamming straight into Mount Madarau. It became that dense we had to wind down the windows to see. Snow came swirling in and throughout the car. We started pushing walls of snow. We got buried so quickly it was halfway up the doors. Ice was on the inside of the windows. The car was bogged in a ditch on what could have been the edge of a large drop. The snow was well above our knees as we tried pushing the car out. What was more important was keeping the car's exhaust pipe clear, but help soon came. Meanwhile, out in the darkness is another ominous threat just around the corner. A two-story house, buried in snow, emerges out of the white landscape with baby blue walls and sunken windows. It is said that if you ask any locals about it, they get distressed and say nobody dares venture in. An unhappy master hung himself from the ceiling and is said to still walk the rooms. A dark underbelly to Japan's mystic beauty. But as the dark of the storm fades, beauty soon rules supreme over this wonderland. Madarau is a self-contained community of facilities, including shops, sometimes getting cut off and shrouded from civilization. At the base of it is the small city of Iyama. Iyama has a population of some 20,000 people, with at least 120 people per square kilometre. But at a glance it seems quite empty. Iyama markets itself as Japan's hometown, or known as the Little Kyoto of Snow Country for its many traditional temples. The longest river in Japan, the Shikuma River, runs through its center. Its economy is largely agricultural, with contributions from the tourism industry for its ski resorts and hot springs. In 2015, the city had broken the Guinness World Record for most snowmen built in an hour. Iyama's best restaurants are tiny tucked away delights, hidden within the side streets off the beaten track. Japan is that smart. It has airbags built into school kids' backpacks in case of being hit by a car. In 2015, it became a stop for the high-end bullet train, the Shinkansen. To Tokyo from Yama, what took some 7 hours by taxi, it took 2 hours by the bullet train. Travelling at a speed of 320 kilometers an hour, or 200 miles. A country cold, but filled with warmth, respect and love. From high altitudes, blizzards and remote towns, to the fastest train, the Shinkansen sped through Japan's warm embrace across the counties and prefectures. From mountains and trees, from Japan country to Japan city, this is Tokyo. Tokyo mixes the ultra-modern with the traditional, from neon-lit skyscrapers to historic temples. The Greater Tokyo area is the most populous metropolitan area in the world. It's been ranked as the best experience in terms of helpfulness of locals, nightlife, shopping, local public transportation and cleanliness of streets. There are up to 63 electric train lines and more than 900 train stations in Tokyo. Safety barriers prevent any mishaps and accidents. Japanese trains are among the world's most punctual. The average delay is just 18 seconds. Sometimes the trains are so crowded, railway staff are employed to cram passengers inside. Tokyo cuisine is internationally acclaimed. Around 24 billion pairs of chopsticks are used in Japan each year. The Imperial Palace is nested on the city's fringe, home to the Emperor of Japan. Surrounded by public gardens, it is almost 3.5 square kilometers or 1.5 square miles big. During the 1980s, palace grounds were valued to be worth more than land in California. Tokyo ranks 4th in the world for the most skyscrapers. 14 million people live here. During the daytime, the population swells by over 2.5 million as workers and students commute. Reigning over them all is the Tokyo Metro Government Building. Inside are headquarters that rule over the 23 boroughs of Tokyo, a building made up of 3 structures that each take up a block, standing as only the 3rd highest building in Tokyo. Looking upon the dense intricacy of Tokyo metropolis, it appears just like any other peak hour, smog-shrouded city. People working overtime at the office. The late night shifts, millions of humans in another city, connected in what we perceive as society. Until race and religion separated us and politics divided us, we forget that we all bleed and that we all cry. That there are no boundaries, that there are no borders. We could learn so much from each other, but only if we want to. Only if we want to.